Not so very long ago, humanity looked upon its own future with a profound sense of dread. The great fear was not of emptiness, but of abundance. In the 1970s, a shadow loomed large in the collective imagination. Scientists and thinkers predicted a world teeming with people, a planet straining at its seams, unable to cope. The narrative was one of exponential growth, a human population explosion that seemed unstoppable. We were told of impending famines, of resources stretched to their breaking point, of a future where there simply would not be enough to go around for everyone. This vision shaped policies and influenced millions. The very success of our species was seen as our potential undoing. And yet, nature and human society with it is full of the most extraordinary surprises. The future we once dreaded has not arrived. The trajectory of our growth has not continued on its seemingly inevitable upward curve. Instead, something remarkable has begun to happen. In its place, a quiet and subtle demographic shift is taking place. Today, the story has been turned on its head. The fear is no longer of teeming masses but empty nurseries and silent playgrounds. Across the developed world, and increasingly in developing nations too, plummeting birth rates have taken hold. This represents one of the most fundamental shifts in human behavior in our entire history. Perhaps nowhere on Earth is this reality more starkly illustrated than in South Korea. Here is a nation that transformed from a war-torn, impoverished country into a global economic and cultural powerhouse. Its story is one of incredible success, hard work, innovation and ambition. Yet behind this gleaming facade lies arguably the world's most severe demographic crisis. Korea's fertility rate has fallen to 0.72 children per woman, barely a third of replacement level. Intense competition creates immense pressure. The cost of raising a child, especially education expenses, is a crushing burden. Women face an impossible choice between career and family. Long working hours leave little time for family life. In this environment, parenthood's personal cost is simply too high. South Korea shows that economic prosperity alone does not guarantee demographic stability. The nation is, in effect, disappearing. One of the most profound changes in human history has been the advent of reliable contraception. For the first time, the link between sex and procreation could be reliably severed. This granted individuals, particularly women, unprecedented control over their bodies and destinies. The ability to plan a family fundamentally reshaped our societies. Couples can consciously delay parenthood, pursue education, establish careers, achieve financial stability. Having a child is now a deliberate choice weighed against other ambitions. Control empowered individuals to design previously unimaginable lives. But empowerment also contributes to fewer children. The technology didn't create the desire for smaller families but provided a reliable way to achieve it. Contraception lets people align family size with new realities. Human population dynamics are now driven less by biology and chance and more by individual aspiration and conscious decisions. Another technological marvel has been quietly reshaping our reproductive lives: the ability to defy the biological clock. Advances in reproductive medicine offer hope to those struggling with infertility. Stories of celebrities having children in their late 40s or 50s create a powerful impression that the urgency to have children in younger years has diminished. One can focus on career, travel, and personal development first, turning to medicine later when the time feels right. This perception can be a double-edged sword. While these technologies are remarkable, they are far from a guarantee of success. These treatments can be emotionally draining, prohibitively expensive, and their success rates decline significantly with age. Couples may delay trying until their chances are already low, only to discover the technological safety net isn't as reliable as hoped. The world inhabited by today's young people is fundamentally different from any previous generation. It is a world saturated with digital technology. Social interaction, entertainment, even identity, are mediated through screens. This constant connectivity has profound effects on traditional life milestones. Dating, marriage, and parenthood are all affected. The digital world offers endless distraction that can delay engagement with the real world. Studies show today's young adults are having less sex, forming partnerships later, and are slower to reach traditional adult milestones. Virtual worlds are comfortable, predictable, and offer instant gratification, making adult responsibilities like raising children seem less appealing and more daunting. Social media creates constant comparison with idealized images of travel, careers, and lifestyles, making parenthood sacrifices seem more significant. For many, the decision about children comes down to a simple, brutal calculation of cost. Raising a child represents an enormous financial commitment. The direct costs are staggering: housing, food, clothing, healthcare, education. In many societies, giving a child a good start has spiraled upward. Parents want to provide the best opportunities: expensive extracurricular activities, private tutoring, university savings. This investment feels like an arms race. The nature of our economies has changed. Stable careers with predictable salaries are rarer. Instead, we see gig economy work, short-term contracts, and stagnant wages. For young people today, achieving financial security is more precarious. The dream of homeownership, traditionally prerequisite for family, is often out of reach. Many couples conclude they can either have a child and struggle financially, or remain childless and enjoy stability. The falling birth rate is a silent protest against a world that has become too expensive. These factors have created a uniquely modern barrier to parenthood: the quest for the perfect time. With the ability to choose when to have children, many wait for ideal circumstances that may never arrive. The decision becomes weighted with preconditions: finish education, establish career, pay off debt, save for a house, travel, feel emotionally ready. Each goal is laudable alone, but together they build an almost impossible standard of preparedness. Life is inherently uncertain. The perfect time is an illusion, a moving target that recedes as you approach. This paralysis of choice leaves many waiting for certainty that never comes. The quest for the perfect moment becomes the thing that prevents starting a family. The silence in nurseries is, in part, the sound of waiting. Focused on perfect conditions, we risk not creating the child at all. This story is not just statistics, it's a global phenomenon with profound consequences for human civilization. We are at a turning point in our history. A society with fewer young people and growing retirees faces fundamental imbalance. Fewer workers drive innovation while smaller tax bases support growing elderly populations. A world with fewer children is one with less laughter, less play, less of the unique energy youth brings to communities. The transfer of culture, knowledge, and tradition becomes strained. The human family itself begins to contract. This is not a call to return to the past. The forces driving change, women's empowerment, education, individual choice, are signs of progress. But we must be honest about consequences. The challenge is finding new balance, building societies that support families and make it possible for those who wish to have children to do so, without sacrificing their dreams. The silence of a shrinking planet is a warning, asking us to think deeply about what kind of future we are creating.